Okay, so cutting the fuel sender hatch. Got one of these and a lid to go on that, and it's gonna fit on there somewhere. And it's got to be 765mm from there to there. So 765mm, 765mm. So that's the centre. It's just there. So in theory, that's the centre spot, 765mm. And loads of people are talking about the distance from the back for the middle, but loads of different ideas. So I'm going to drill about here a hole and see if it's above the centre, so that I know the centre spot. So I drilled the hole actually at 800. A lot of places say the centre is 790. I've drilled it at 800, and you can't see this, but the centre, that's basically above the bottom of the sender. So the centre of the sender is more like there. So I'm thinking if I cut my hole, I want it to the centre there. I'll probably be as close to that as possible. Still, to fit that, so I suppose it's that. Oh, that slightly off centre. It's a bit stupid, isn't it? Actually, now that's probably, I think that's the centre there. So if I go, that's the centre, about there. That's alright. Okay. Okay, now filming from the other side, and I'm inside the bus, so I've just marked the hole where the top rivets are going to go. And obviously the hole for the middle just needs to be a nice straight line like that, and by my calculations that's the centre of the fuel sender, which is not actually the centre of the van. It's probably more like 755 from the edge. So yeah, got to just cut it out. Okay, so the cut started. Short blade, because there's about that much gap to the top of the wire. As you can see, that's reasonably centre. It's about as far as you can get this way. Looking alright. Okay. Looks alright. So there you go. That's the amount of access you get with, as you can see, the centre is actually 10mm less. So what was it? I'll say what the measurement was again, but that to the left edge, well sorry, that's the back of the bus, to the offside, because I've got units outside. I'll do a measurement. Yeah, but that's alright, loads of access, happy days. So that's nice, that fits just nice. And I think it makes sense to now put the drill, small drill bit in, and just locate those holes. I think let's get that done. Right, holes drilled. Yep, holes drilled. Now, a couple of things to note. I chose not to drill right up to the edge of the bracket. Instead, I've probably done the hole slightly smaller than you need to, just because I thought more metal is good, I think. But then I needed to cut a bit out there because the captive nuts, it all needs a place to go, basically. But yeah, it seems to be alright. And then so that's one thing. And then the other thing, so the exact dead centre on this bus, which is exact dead centre, I think, is one. It's hard to see in the picture. I can't quite get this straight. There we go. It's 150. It doesn't look like it in that picture because it's right. It's 150. 150 is absolute dead centre from the offside. From the offside, it's 150, and then from the rear edge, it would be one. Oh, sorry, hold on. Sorry. From the rear edge, which is the centre, is about 1835. Or better still, from the hatch edge, it's about 201. 21, sorry. Yeah. Another thing noting as well is that there was a lot of swarf in there, obviously, from cutting the metal. So I've tidied all the swarf up, and I've given this all a wipe, nice and clean, so that I can give it a, and give all these edges and all of this bit a nice bit of a lick of paint, probably a bit of Rust-Oleum, I'd imagine. Okay, so moment of truth. I'll not actually ever remove this. It looks pretty good in there, doesn't it? Look, I mean, this metal's all nice, and in there, I mean, that looks new, but looks decent. Anyway, moment of truth. Personally, I've never removed this, even though it looks reasonably new. How exciting. Fuel sender. I don't know about you, but that looks like a recent fuel sender. Now, I sometimes get a bizarre conk out on this bus for no reason, and I wonder if it's that sometimes covering the hole, the outlet. What else might be in there, I wonder. So this is really exciting for me. I've had the bus, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years, and it's had this constant, runs like a dream, suddenly loses power. The symptoms are losing petrol, but obviously I've looked at everything. I've replaced all sorts of electrics, had the engine rebuilt, all sorts. But this piece of plastic, I don't even know what it is, some kind of grommet or new part assembly bit in the fuel tank, and I bet you that covers the fuel hole. I bet you. It's got to be it. Okay, new fuel sender arrived from Just Campers. It's from the maker is Classic line. There's not much to a sender really, so I can't say it's good or bad. It comes with a gasket. I bought a gasket, but it comes with one, and that's the same make, so actually you don't need it. But let's just give it a test out. So ohms 200, because it's going to be 0 to about 80. Earth line and main line. So when it's up, then that's the tank full, so all the way up. It won't go up there, will it? It will go to about there, I suppose. So 15, 16 tank full, looks about right. All the way empty. 73 looks about right. So if that's full, so the tank would be, what's that, about half full there? 45. So I'm just looking at the whole movement now. This looks good. Happy days. That's good. Okay, so I thought I'd also check the fuel sender against the fuel gauge. So basically the way I think it's going to work is that brown wire goes to the fuel gauge. You can see my Chinese voltage regulator there. It works alright, I think. Anyway, I'll secure that a bit better later. But so all I need to do is attach that. No, take that off. Attach a crocodile clip to that, but don't forget to earth that as well. So I'll just earth that somewhere and we'll see what happens. Right, so basically wind it up as if it would be in a tank. So that's effectively the brown wire. That's just earthing. It's doing nothing, just going to earth. But that's the brown wire that goes to the back of the fuel gauge. I've attached that to the back of the fuel gauge, believe me. Right, a bit awkward, but see if I can turn the. Right, I'll balance out the steering wheel. Everything's still attached. Balance out the steering wheel. So the tank is now full. Ignition on. Nice. Looking alright. Tank full. Okay. Tank full. Tank. Is that about half, I'd say? About that position. Moving. Looks about right. Just going to keep going. Off. And then empty. See where it goes to on empty. I ran out of petrol recently, so I wouldn't mind knowing what happens when it gets to empty. Because my full gauge wasn't working. Well, it was semi-working, which is why I ran out of petrol. There is a little adapter on the back of the gauge that I adjusted when I put this new gauge in, which I reckon I've put too high, because that is empty. I know it takes a while to move, but that is empty. That is a gauge issue, not a sender issue. That's my fault, because I adjusted the gauge. Right. Right, I've rigged up the fuel gauge, taken everything out, made it all safe. The fuel sender, and in there, that little pointy thing, you adjust with a pointy thing, which will make that needle move. I've actually already just adjusted it so that now when it's empty, not full, empty, it reads empty. I think it actually gets there to empty. I might adjust it up. Oh no, that's all right actually, because it means I'll fill up early if it's a little bit low. And then full. It's full. Empty. Well, let's go to about halfway. That's about half. It's not the fastest of moving things. There you go anyway. Get the idea. Full range of movement. All the way down to empty. Nice. Okay, back together. That's going to go on there. Fits in the holes there. There's little tabs for it to kind of clip over. Do it this way around. Little tabs will kind of catch it in there. This is very important. It stops these things from being earth, because all of this is earth. That's an earth. That's a big earth tab. You don't want that to earth. Fuel gauge connections. Slots in there, a couple of little guide holes can only go in one place. So literally a couple of little tabs that match to there, can only go in one place. Put the screws back in to hold that. And then finally, I think, hopefully, finally this just fits in there. Gentle. And pop the screws in. Voila, give it all a clean up as well. I've got to put the temperature gauge in, but it's currently popping up the camber. Now I seem to take the dash out quite a lot, so what I've done is labelled all the wires, which is quite handy. So a couple of things about the new and the old one. The old one's the yellow float, is that the new one is tabbed to go that high, which I suppose is fair enough. But the old one, the tabs for fitment different. Finished there. That one's got a tab, so that means it's going to be slightly a squiff when you put it in, so you've got to be careful that this is like that, not like that, because it would be if you fit it the same. So you've got to put it in like that, and then turn it. So I think it's going to go in with the brown wire white tab thing there, pointing at about 9 or 10 and turn. So that's going to make it a bit easier to line it up, I think. Alright, so that's it installed using my installers, because it's quite tight. And as you can see, the float is that way. Before it was straight across. It was over there, which I believe there's plenty of space, so it must be in the right position. So dash wire to the gizmo, earth wire not on a gizmo. Yeah, that's right. So that's interesting. I know I've got a gallon in there, but the gauge is showing empty, and it did obviously raise up to that point, which I don't mind, but I wonder if that is because the resistance has increased further, because at the end of the day this is only a resistance meter, that's what you call it. The resistance has increased. No, that'd be the other way, wouldn't it? You have to think about that. Right, it's a load of silicone all on the outside, and from the dropped bits of a bit more silicone. I think I'll put a bit more on that bit. It's all reasonably same height, even though this thing has got those. It's still going to leak, obviously. It's only metal, it's only shape. Okay, let's see how it fits. Okay, so in theory, when I put all these screws in, this will flatten it all out. I think what I'll do is I'll put these 4 in loosely, and then in the morning, no, I'll put it in tighter. There we go. Fine now. Let's finish it off now. So in terms of a gasket, I've put silicone around the edge of that, but I think I'm going to use this stuff. Old-fashioned gasket paper. It's quite a thick one for this, around there. I think it'll be alright. It'll just give it a bit more of a closure. Could always double it up, put 2 on there perhaps. So there we go. I actually didn't bother cutting the inside out, just cut the whole circle, put it all on with some scissors. For the holes, a paper hole punch, obviously that I'm not very good with, and some contact adhesive to stick it. So I reckon that'll hold tighter. Screw that down, it should hold tighter. I might need to trim the edges a bit actually. I need to trim those edges. Okay, edges trimmed. Fits perfectly. I would imagine that will be more gas tight. Time will tell. There you go, all done. Looks pretty cool. So like I say, it does come with pop rivets for the outside. I've chosen to use screws just because, even though I've sealed it with silicone, and I'm going to put a sign on there which says to any future owners, only undo the middle bit. You can undo the outside bit if you really want to, because it's slightly bigger. Maybe there'll be a reason why you need a bigger space, but there we have it. When the unit goes back in, I'll probably need to just do something, because obviously that's a bit higher off the floor. The unit will need to sit flush, so I'll do something about the unit. That's alright. Good bit of kit. One last bit to remind me and future users.